false documentation in the Philippines? How does that work? I don't know. But there are 2 cases here that are being investigated now. Hi guys, it's Monday. It's 1:30, 2 o'clock. I'm having some lunch today with Annie. I did actually ask Annie not to interrupt on the vlog, so she's playing her supermarket game. Very, very, very nice. Yeah. Anyway, I still got that cough. Can't get rid of it. And the last couple of days, I've been reading about this woman, Filipina, or should I say, she is a woman of nondescript identity. Her name is Alice Guo. She's the mayor, barangay captain of a barangay called Tarlac in Luzon. And what's actually happened is that she's been arrested and all of her accounts have been frozen because of some fraudulent use of her identity. Now, what was interesting with me was the fact is that she went to school back in the 2000s and the late 90s, and her school friends turned around and said that she didn't speak any English and she didn't speak any Filipino, and she could speak Chinese, but she had a birth certificate that said that she was Filipino, so she got given Philippine citizenship. Since then, she's become a multi-billionaire. She's head of this Pogo corporation based in Luzon, and they've arrested her, or they are investigating her, and they've frozen all of her assets. Reading about this woman, and she's under investigation by the Senate. She's the CEO of this company, and the company's called Yang Holdings, and it's a gaming holding company. The young woman has got 2 passports, Filipino and Chinese. They've frozen her assets of her helicopter, 27 cars, 15 to 20 different land holdings, housings. She's got a warehouse facility which is 7,500 square meters, which has all these gaming offices and gaming rooms for Pogo. She's got people on the board of directors that have all got dubious backgrounds and dubious identities. And I was quite interested reading about it, but it's obvious that the company is money laundering, and it's obvious, and that's what they're turning around and wanting to find out. This woman's got like 36 billion pesos in her bank account. She's got, one of her directors runs a water company, and he's actually got assets of 50 billion peso. And it just keeps going on and on and on and on. And it's quite interesting listening that these people have actually gone out, they've got themselves false identities. But it's a big scam here, it's a big scandal, because people are actually, you know, barangay captains are falsifying records and dignitaries are falsifying records, and people are actually they're getting IDs and they're getting false passports. And it's all come to light when these people try to travel. Now, for me, what I found interesting when I was reading yesterday was that there was an announcement in the Inquirer about Davao del Sur, and it says in this article that if you want to buy a birth certificate, Philippine birth certificate in Davao del Sur, costs you 300,000 peso, and you will be able to have a Philippine identity, a Philippine passport, and all documentation that supports your identification as a Filipino, which I found quite interesting. And as I was reading further and further into this, the local BI and the immigration and airport authorities are finding it more and more difficult to unweave people's identity, passport, their bank accounts, their tickets, their property, because it's become so corrupt and so integrated in Davao del Sur that since this year alone they've caught 200 people. 200 people. Majority of them are Chinese. Majority of them are Chinese. But these are all foreigners that have actually got Philippine passports, Philippine birth certificates, Philippine identities, which gives them the right to buy land, buy property, invest in investments here, get on the business allowance, do their tax, but they don't have any Philippine family background. They got no schooling, they got no TOR, which is transcript of record, they got no information to support it. It's all falsified. So for 300,000 peso, you could get a new life with a new name in Davao City, because it's based in Davao del Sur, which is over near Digos, and it's over near Bansalan, and it's over near Santa Cruz. There is this group that will turn around and falsify who you are. I found it mind-blowing yesterday how you go about it, how you meet the people, where you find the people, where you get the money, I just found it really interesting for me. Really interesting. I got a British passport and I got a British birth certificate, but you know, if I paid 300,000, I could end up having a Philippine passport. I don't know what my name would be. It would most probably be Marangay or something like that, or Senor something. But do I look Filipino? Long nose, fat body, short grey hair. Yeah, I'm not. But for 300k, you know, the price of a deposit putting down on a car, you could get a new life. I just find it bizarre. But the guy from the BI that was explaining it yesterday online, and he was doing this inquiry, the newspaper, and he was explaining that it's becoming very difficult for the immigration to track down and trace, because the questions that are being asked, they have paperwork, they have ID, they have school records, they have all the paperwork that's required to show to the guys at the airport and at Manila and the immigration when they're traveling to support their Philippine ID. Once you have an ID and an identity and a passport and a birth certificate, it opens lots and lots of doors for you here. Crazy. A crazy world we live in. Maybe there is a push required to get Philippine ID out. Annie applied for her Philippine ID nearly 3 years ago, and she's still not received it. Have you?
The Philippine ID.
So the Philippine
ID,
the Philippine plastic ID that everybody was going on about when you had COVID. Everybody got told to go down and register, and people still haven't got it. And that's one of the problems.
That's what's the most difficult when you lost your ID here.
Get your ID, get your passport, get your paperwork sorted. But they were asking this woman, Alice Guo, about her schooling, And the guy from the Senate that was investigating her, he actually went to the same school she did, and he remembers her turning up at school and not being able to speak Filipino or English, and he's the one that's doing the investigation. Which, yeah, they need to clamp down on it, but I think they need to ban offshore gaming here. They ban it and it will stop the money flowing and it will stop the money laundering. But I do find it interesting. But have a look at it. Alice Guo in Luzon. But also have a look at the Davao del Sur. 300,000 peso. With the Inquirer, Philippine Inquirer. It's a 3-page report. Very, very interesting. Maybe I must be naive, but it goes on. It goes on. Anyway, like, share, subscribe.